guys, so this is just going to be a really quick wedding update video. I have a little bit of an update and then a story behind the update that I want to tell you guys. So let's just get started. Big news, Sam and I have set a date for our wedding as well as booked a venue. Okay, well, we didn't actually book a venue. I'll explain with this story. I feel like to begin this story, I need to tell you guys a little bit about Sam's family history. So as you guys may be aware, Sam lost his dad about 4 years ago to cancer. Sam's dad was best friends with this man growing up named John. And so throughout the years, John's family and Sam's family were very, very close all growing up. And even after Sam's father passed away, his family has still remained super close to John's family. And Sam was actually even in John's son's wedding party. I've been to John's house a few times, and last summer we went there for a party for John's son who was getting married. This was the first time I had seen John's home in the summertime. We had been there a few times before, like I mentioned, but every time we had been there it was winter, and so we didn't really go outside, we just stayed indoors. And so going there for the first time in the summer, I was able to actually kind of walk around and see his entire piece of property, because he lives outside of the city, so he owns a good chunk of land. I was actually able to see what he has done with his property, what he's done with the outdoors and the landscaping. When I say that his outside is seriously as beautiful as a golf course, I'm not kidding. His land and what he's done is extremely beautiful. When Sam and I were there for John's son's party, we were walking around and I was like, do you think when the time came, if we asked John, do you think he would let us get married at his house? And Sam was like, probably. They're so close, and I feel like there's no one else that we know, or even looking at the guest list we've put together for our wedding, there's no one that I would feel comfortable asking us to have such a big event at their residence. Later in that evening, after the party, we were leaving and we were driving Sam's mom home, and Sam brought it up to her and he's like, obviously not anytime soon, because at that point Sam and I weren't even engaged. He's like, do you think at some point when it did happen, if we asked John, do you think he would allow us to get married at his house? And she, without even a thought, was like, absolutely, without a question, he would absolutely allow that, or say yes to that. We always kind of had that in the back of our mind as a possibility for when we did start actually planning a wedding. A few months ago, this was before we were engaged, we were at Sam's mom's house for lunch, and she just happened to mention that John was actually selling his house. I was upset, but I wasn't mad or anything, because it's his home. He has the right to do whatever he wants with it. If he wants to sell it, great. If he wants to tear it up and redo everything, he has the right to. It's his home. At that point, it was we're not even engaged yet. We can't even ask him to wait to sell it because we're not even engaged. We don't know when we're gonna get engaged. Well, Sam knew when we were gonna get engaged. I didn't. If he sells it, we'll just have to figure out something else. And even if he didn't sell it, we'd still maybe have to think of something else. If he said, no, I would prefer you not to have a big party at my house. A few weekends ago, Sam and I got engaged, and the conversation came up again as to where we were gonna have it, what we were gonna do. Right now it is up in the air with everything because of COVID. I don't even know what's gonna be going on next year with this virus. Basically, Sam and I kind of came up with a plan A plan B, and a plan COVID, as we mentioned in our We're Engaged video. Plan A was always John's house. First of all, it was absolutely my dream venue, besides getting married in front of the Disney castle. His house was my dream venue. Also, even if the virus is still going on, I'm trying to be optimistic and hope that it kind of dies down by the time we have our wedding. If we had it at his house, it would be completely and totally outside, so I feel like it would be a lot easier to social distance and stuff, and we also do not have a big guest list. So that was always our plan A, and then we came up, like I said, with a plan B and a plan C for COVID. Talking to Sam's mom, we knew that he still had the house on the market. However, he hadn't had any offers, and he was planning on taking it off of the market and then reposting it in like spring or summer. So Sam and I were like, hey, if we want to ask him if we can use his property for our wedding, we need to get on that pretty quickly here so that he just kind of knows, or he can say no, and then we can start planning for something else. This weekend just happened, and we asked John and Sam's mom to come over for lunch. During the lunchtime, we asked him about his house, and we asked him about what's going on with selling it, and he said the same thing that Sam's mom said, that he hadn't had any offers, he was going to take it down and then repost it. And so we basically just asked him, we said, would you be okay, obviously surrounding the times you want to repost it, would you be okay if Sam and I had our wedding at your house? Without a single hesitation or anything, he told us, give me a date and I will repost it based on that date. I pulled out my agenda. We just literally picked a random date and we said, how about this date? And he said, sounds good to me. For me, the date wasn't always a big deal. Like, I know the date is sometimes a big deal for couples, like Sam's sister and her now husband. They had a set date in mind that they wanted to get married, and they thankfully, even with COVID going on, they were able to still use that date for their wedding. For me, it wasn't necessarily about the date, it was more the location. And I am very happy to say that I am literally going to be getting married at my dream location. I'm so excited. I am so happy. It is a lot sooner than we expected it to be, that we're doing it on his time frame. We're doing it based on when he wants to repost it to sell, and I don't want to ask him to hold off posting it and trying to sell it because we're gonna get married there. My mom is out of town right now. When she gets back, she wants to go and look at it and just kind of see everything. Sam's sister has kind of also been very involved with everything. Like, she was texting Sam and saying, can I go with them when they go to his house to take pictures and stuff? I'm definitely so grateful that she wants to come and be a part of this. Sam and me, my mom, my sister, and then my one aunt, who's I'm basically gonna ask to be my wedding planner, we're all gonna go up there when my mom is back in town and just kind of take pictures. At the same time, it's a lot shorter of a time frame than I expected it to be. We're getting married on June 12th, 2021, which is crazy. It's less than 9 months away. I have absolutely nothing ready. I need to book some appointments to go try on some wedding dresses. Again, I have to wait for my mom to get back. Luckily, she's not out of town for a super long period of time, but I feel like that's something I really need to do soon because it takes a while to first order a dress, and then with coronavirus and stuff going on, I feel like it's going to take even longer. It's crazy to think about, but it's happening. Didn't think it'd be this soon, but it is, and I can't wait. So that's the update. I will continue to update as things happen. Like I said, I'm hoping to go do some wedding dress shopping when my mom gets back. I've been Pinteresting like crazy, a whole bunch of ideas. I've texted a bunch of my friends, especially ones who like live out of town, being like, June 12th, save the date. Time to start really and truly planning our wedding. I will talk to you later. Bye everyone.